If you don't handle those property taxes, then they begin to accumulate, and interest and penalties begin to accumulate. And after a period of time, then the county decides, hey, they're not going to pay this, so we're going to turn this over to our attorney. Hey, Don Collins here again with Equity Tax Advocates. I want to talk to you today about delinquent property taxes. They're rampant all over the country. The general procedure is that your property taxes are generally due on January the 31st of every year. And if they're not paid on January, then they become delinquent on February the 1st. And then the sequence keeps on going down. If you don't handle those property taxes, then they begin to accumulate, and interest and penalties. And after a period of time, then the county decides, hey, they're not going to pay this, or they haven't contacted us, so we're going to turn this over to our attorney. And when that happens, it goes in for judgment of the court, and then the property goes on either a tax lien, talking generalities here, or tax sale. So I'm going to zero in on Texas here because that's where we are and where we help property owners handle their property taxes. In specifically Harris County, the taxes are due in January. February 1st, again, they are delinquent. And then at that point, it's up to the county to decide, number one, how much of the taxes are due, and if they are delinquent for a number of years, that puts an urgency upon the county to turn them over to their assigned attorney. And then it falls into going to court to get a judgment, and then eventually for tax sale. Now, let's talk about the tax sale. The property owner, in this particular case where the property goes to tax sale, loses their property. That's what they do. And they get nothing for it. They get none of the equity that they've put into that property back as a result of the tax sale. Now, in Texas, if you have a homestead or an agricultural exemption, then there's a 2-year redemption period. And what that means is that for a period of 2 years, you can go back and reclaim or redeem that policy. And that means that you go back in and you pay whoever bought that property whatever they paid for it. Likely they paid exceedingly less than what the value of the property is, simply because the county wanted their taxes. So how do you handle a notice from the county that you've got delinquent property taxes? Number one, you don't throw it in the trash and deny it. That only exacerbates the situation because the county is not going to go away. They are going to get their money one way or the other. Second part of that is see if you can pay the taxes. Unfortunately, there are homeowners who, for whatever reason, have not been able to pay their taxes for a number of years. And that accumulates, not only with the property tax balance for that preceding year, but also the penalties and interest. So it's kind of a mushrooming issue. So not addressing it and hoping that they'll forget about you is not an option, because they will not forget about you. They will get their money. It is the law. So, and they're going to exercise the law. So in this respect, see if you can pay the taxes. You can go and see if you can get a loan somewhere from a bank or some kind of lending institution to pay your taxes. Or you could go to relatives and see, hey, an uncle, a brother, a daughter, a sister, even parents. Can you help me out here? And sometimes none of that works. Just sometimes none of that works. So here at Equity Tax Advocates, we have options to help you pay the taxes and get equity out of your home and not lose your property. So if you want to know more information about this, go to equitytaxadvocates.com and let's talk. See you later. We'll have more information about all of these delinquent tax